Hi, can you hear me? Are you there? Can you hear me? I'm sure you can. Can you not hear me? Or can you hear me? But if you can hear me, here goes. We're gonna get into some cool stuff. I'm gonna share some cool stuff with you. But before we get into that, I want you to like, share, comment, subscribe. I am Canute Ellis. Now we're gonna jump right into it, right? This is a special edition of In My World, and we're Facebook Live, and we're gonna be on YouTube tomorrow. Woo, woo. I'm doing it big time. So shout out to Lima and the team. Thank you so much for having me as a contributor. And I'm super excited. This is another side of me. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Canute. Like I said before, I'm a producer. I'm a music producer. I'm a recording engineer. I'm a technical director. And there's a myriad of other things that I do. But mostly I am into things that shift and change the world. And that could be a host of things, right? So, we're going to be talking tonight about the music industry and things you need to know before you release your next hit. So, things you need to know before you release your next hit. So, here goes. So, you have your song, it's already done, mixed, mastered, and ready to go. Before you have all that stuff and you want to release it on your mother's birthday, your grandmother's 75th anniversary, whatever it is, whatever dates that is sticking out to you that means something to you, you have to backtrack a little bit. And here's where a lot of people go unrealistic with their timelines. You can't just say, I want to release a song by the weekend, and today is, say, Wednesday. It doesn't work like that. Now you can if it's for free and you're gonna be like downloading a lot of your content to inbox, WhatsApp, you name it, and just giving people that for a free gift. Yes, by all means, but you still need to practice a few things, and I'll share later. So stick and stay to the end, okay? So you wanting to release this thing in a couple days or a couple weeks or even a couple months. Here's some things that you need to know. The content. The content that you have, meaning the lyrical content, meaning the things that you're saying, is it geared to the times? Like the times that we're in now, people are so uncertain. They're riled up about what's going to happen. You know, they're in crisis. Everybody's in crisis. It's all over. It's a global thing, right? But in this time, people want to be soothed by music, word of encouragement, motivation, and a lot of other things. Now, say you have a song that's geared to the times as if it's now. Now is the time you want to put out your content. Now is the best time to put out content. Not because people are home, not because people are bored, not because people will give a listening ear or pay some attention to what's going on in the space, but that it will be relevant to your target audience. Then, speaking of that, what is your target audience? So, if your target audience, as most artists and most singers or musicians, don't necessarily pay this attention. What they do is, I have a song, it's a wicked tune, and I'm gonna put it out. But when it doesn't stick, like, you know, you take all these spaghetti and you throw it to the wall and you watch to see what stick. And if it doesn't stick, then you go, oh, sad face, why didn't it work? You have to study the market. And you have to see what you're going to be doing, if it's going to be touching lives and shaping or shaking the world. Now, say it is geared for the time, whatever time it is, right? Say your song is one of ray of hope or talking about sunshine. You don't want to release a sunshine song necessarily in the rainy season. Now, some might say that's not a good thing, but some might say it is a good thing. Here's where it comes into the next point. Marketing. You can market the heck out of anything you want. Now, if it's rainy season and you have a song that's talking about sunshine, your marketing team can make everybody look forward to the sunshine moments and not think of the rain, because the statistics show when it's rain, it's people are more sad, they're somber, they want to be inside, they don't want to go outside because they don't want to get wet and all that stuff. But if you have a marketing team, that's when you're cooking with gas, like real gas. Because your marketing team is going to also see your release date, the end goal in mind, and backtrack to see what you need to know or what you need to do to get your target audience to come alive when your release is there. So it's not just in your awesome melody, your awesome lyrics, your killer mix from a wonderful engineering team, great production. Your stylist did your hair, your makeup is all grand and all that stuff, or your shoes is fly, and you be like, "Yo, kill this." It's much more than that. It's having a plan, having a strategy, because let's face it, people are going to want to hear your song when it's received well. And when you have a marketing team, like I'm doing research for this, I talked with one of my great friends, which is a marketing guru, and they said, hey, to do marketing campaigns for anything, whether it's be a Coca-Cola ad or a soda pop ad or music for cars, for house, you name it, there's a strategy in place. Now that we got that out the way, now that you have the marketing team and they said, okay, this date is a goal, grandma's birthday, you get to release your song about sunshine, right? All systems are go. You have to now plan that with your production team, making sure that you're ahead of time. And one key thing, your digital distributor, make sure that they are able to release it on grandma's birthday. Whatever the date is, whatever it is. For those of you who are joining, thanks for joining. My name is Canute Ellis, and we're talking about the things you need to know before your release of your next hit, right? So now that we got that out the way, your digital distributor will now say, yes, it's a go, because it's ahead of time. And it's not just 1 day, 2 day, a week, or if it's not in a peak time. For example, in peak times, it's holiday seasons. A lot of people are releasing music, such as Christmas. You want to release your song just before the New Year or Christmas. It's going to be busy. It's just one of those things, right? So your digital distributor says it's a go, and you'd be like, bet, I'm on it, right? There's a couple of things that you can do once you get that thumbs up from them. You have a thing called pre-order. And pre-order, what that is, it's when you put it up, it will give you, there's a couple of things. You could select it where people can see the artwork and can hear snippets of your song or whatever content you're putting out, and they can be enthused by it. But it's really to get engagement of your tribe, whatever that is, which is your fan base or your clan or your clique or your crew, whatever you want to call it. This is going to let them know, hey, this is coming. And guess what? To that end, your marketing team can market the hell out of that, going, hey, come next 4 Fridays from now, grandma's birthday, Song of Sunshine is coming out, and you best be ready for what's coming. Now, you can choose to tease them with some of the song or don't tease them for them to create this anticipation, but pre-order is a wonderful thing to do. I did it with my last album, Scroll V3, that I released, and it created this big sense of community, this big sense of anticipation of everybody, wait, it's coming out. I want to be a part. I want to be the first one. Pre-order not only lets people know it's coming out, hearing it's coming out, but they can also buy it. And they want to be first in line. Now, show of hands. Who knows? Everybody wants to be the one to get the first in line for a lot of things. Like when the new J's are coming out, me and my buddy Didas, big shout out to Didas. We will not necessarily stand in line for it, but if there's voucher, if there's certain Jordans that you only can get voucher, and there's no two ways around it. You have to go to the store, you have to sign your name, show your ID. It's a whole thing for all you sneakerhead out there. But if you have a plug and you have somebody that will stand in line for you and get these kicks, right? You could just sit at home, play some PlayStation or Xbox, whatever you play, chill, and wait for the release date to drop. But what it does, it puts people in the queue for a first come, first serve. Now, the truth is, on digital distribution on music, first come, first serve is not like it's the digital distribution is going to run out. But for those of you who have fans and tribes that want to be the first one to be playing it in their car and be like, yeah, I got this new joint from Canute. They want to be the first one as it drops 11:59 or 12:01, whatever you set it at, date and time. They want to be the first one to have it and just to enjoy that music, especially if they're waiting. There's anticipation, right? Now, speaking of anticipation, there's another thing that you need to know. The other thing is, if you haven't released something in a while, sad for you, bad for you? I don't think so. Sometimes it can be good for you, says the marketing guru, because you create this separation, which sometimes is not so good with your fans, but they know you haven't dropped a record in a minute. So now they want to hear from you. And you create this big anticipation for your music, for whatever content you put in out, right? And that can actually work in your favor, says the marketing guru. That can make people know that, yes, you know, it's been a while, it's been a minute, but you're coming out, it's on pre-order, and people should, and guess what? Brings me to my next point. I just chewed my word up to come to here. Value, 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 value. You have to give your clients, your tribe, your fans value. Here's what's value. It's not the song for 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes or two, whatever length of the song it is. It's not for your nice melody, your great production, or you know how you sing this one ook and stuff. You know I can't sing to save my life, but I produce people that can sing, and they say I'm awesome. But anyways, it's not for just that. It's for you to be able to tell people that when you buy this record, the value you're going to get is a high quality, and you have to give people quality. Now, speaking of quality, I am a quality control, I don't want to call myself officer, but a quality control person. Now, what that simply means is I make sure I pay attention to the start of the project or before the start of the project straight through to the end. So a lot of projects, people would hire me and I'm the quality control personnel. And that means I'm listening to the projects and I'm making sure, hey, you have a pop at 17 seconds, right? Or there's a distortion here, or this fades too quick and thing. Is really just to keep a high end of your project. Now, sometimes I do it for free. Sometimes I kind of, just want to be a part of projects that's really, 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 really good. And so I'll volunteer my service to be like, yo, I want to make sure everything is tip top shape and this and it's right. Maybe you don't have that, and maybe you want to reach out to me and have me kind of just do a once-over vet to just make it onto your listening session, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person. We can make it happen. But if you don't have what it takes, like a quality control personnel to kind of thing, that's where your producer and your engineer comes into play. That's where everybody's going to make sure that the quality of this record is good, meaning industry standard, meaning it's mastered well, it's mixed well. But like I said on the start, all of that is done. It's great. We're off to the races of what do you need to know before you release. You need to know a lot of things. You need to know what's the climate. We're going to backtrack. What's the climate? What content you're putting out? If it's going to be touching people, what's the demographic you're going after, and the timing of that. Get a marketing person to do marketing. And now marketing is not just telling people, hey, look, I got an album coming out and it's going to be awesome. It's getting PR, which is public relations, getting write-up, getting blogs, getting ready for shows, tours and all the other stuff. I won't bore you with not bore. I won't get into all that stuff. I want to talk about the meat and the potatoes of you releasing your hit. Say you have all that team in place and everybody's going to be getting the music out to the DJs or the radio personalities, the TVs. You have all these things line up and everything is in place. You have to now be prepared to not only give high quality value, but to let people see, hear, and touch and feel. And I know it's kind of weird in this time where social distances and all that stuff, but obviously you're gonna want to do either, say you're doing a book signing or a CD launch or CD signing, those kind of things to make your appearance. You have to plan those things ahead of time. What you don't want is for you to release your stuff And then you're thinking, oh, wait, I should try and make it on so-and-so TV program or so-and-so radio program. Your fans are going to be like, didn't you plan this ahead of time? They probably won't say it to you, but they're not going to be as engaging. They're not going to be enthused to see your stuff come out because there is no anticipation and there's no, get this word, momentum build. And that brings me to my final point tonight. Momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is that little thing that you start when it looks like nobody's watching. When it looks like nobody's caring, nobody's paying attention. And let me share this quick story with you. Momentum. My record was coming out, Scroll V3, the trilogy. Go check it. It's on all platforms. And I knew it was coming out, and I set it up. I had a marketing team. Hooray for me. I planned it well. And they did everything they could. They made sure everything was aligned and stuff. But it was left up to me. Now, I never had a VA at the time, and I never had somebody to kind of like, help me do a bunch of stuff. So I kind of like was hands-on. And for those of you who know me, I'm a hands-on kind of guy. And so what I had to do was to do my canvassing on social media. I know we're talking about momentum, but social media is going to be your best friend if you're releasing any music in 2020 and beyond. It's absolutely impossible if you don't have social media presence. Now, you can have a fan base that absolutely is not on social media, and hooray to you if you do it. Crack the code, link me in the DM. I want to know how you do it. But in this day and age, most people consume their music via stream, via social media, challenges, you name it. That's how. The physical disc isn't what is trending right now. Not to say you can't sell CDs, but it's not trending right now. Now, the momentum I'm talking about is I had to go canvas social media. Hey, I have a record out. Hey, check it out. Hey, check it out. And it started out where most people kind of like, meh, until they kind of see it. And consistency brings momentum, and you keep going and keep going. Now, I had to keep going no matter what, whether my views on my lives weren't as high once I ended live or people weren't DMing me with anticipation. But nevertheless, the more I did it, it's the more interest that I piqued. Piqued it so much that when we were considered in 10 categories in the Grammys, this 60-second Grammy, everybody now was hitting me up, texting me, yo, I listen to your stuff. It's dope. It's fire. Where can I get it? Or I saw your challenge that you were giving away free downloads and that kind of stuff. And people wanted to know where they could get it, how they could be a part, and all that stuff when they saw everybody else blazing it, riding around in their cars and all that stuff. And, I saw this Grammy stuff. What's up with that? How is that going? And momentum doesn't mean that once your record is out, it stops. It simply means that you keep going because it go off of this one seed that you sow. Now, what seeds are you going to sow with your record that's coming out? And when we say hit, we're not meaning necessarily number one on the charts for 20 weeks or billboards and all that stuff. And believe me, I've been there. We get excited when we hear week 2, week 3, week and continue. But it means that it's a success, and you could say, you know what, I champion this cause. X amount of stream, people know about it, and it's not just this one-off thing that's just in the corner and a couple people kind of know. And I had to face that because as much as we were considered in 10 categories in the 60-second Grammy, most people didn't know that I had an album. So I had to do an exercise. I did a social exercise, and I had to go, hi, my name is Canute and I have a record out. And my good friends would say, yes, I know. Or some people, I didn't know you had an album. And I thought they knew. I thought everybody knew because I was trending. You look on iTunes and you see the star or you see the popularity and be like, yo, people checking my stuff out. But everybody doesn't know. And so I was determined that even after 2 weeks, even after 2 months, I'm going to still let people know because I'm telling you now that I have an album out. And it's dope. It's fire. Go check it out. It's Scroll V3, the trilogy. And it's a labor of love. But what are you going to be focusing on to let people know about your release? These steps that you have to take into consideration. And if you missed it, go rewatch it. If you're watching now, hashtag live. If you're watching later on, hashtag replay. If you have any questions at all, feel free to DM me, hit me up, hit my website out, www.canuteellis.com. CANUTEELLIS.com. Hit me up. Let me know. If you want me to mix your record, master your record, be a part of it in any way, shape, or form, I'm your guy. Hit me up. Let me know. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for participating. You like what I said, or you have some questions, or don't like what I say, feel free to drop in the comments below right here. I am a super, super cool guy, and I'll just answer your questions as best as I can, or your growls, whatever it is. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, iTunes Entertainment Magazine. See you guys on the other side. Peace out.